Good evening, race fans, and welcome to another exciting race here today at USA International Speedway with the American Sim Racing Club for the Frito Super Late Model Touring Series. My name is Mason Heimbaugh with Team Goon Squad, bringing you today's action in 1080p 60 frames a second. And I hope you guys are excited for today's race. We have 8 lap heats and a 125 lap feature. It's going to be a lot of exciting action here today as we get shaped up and ready to go here for our first set of heat races, or excuse me, our first heat race here at the USA International Speedway. While I am also trying to determine why you guys can still see the pit lane stuff. Albeit it's nice to see that every now and then, but currently that's not what I want you guys to see, but we'll let it be. We'll let it roll. It's fine the way it is. I'm sure it'll be alright, but getting into today's action for our first heat race here today, we have Devin McDonald starting first with Ron Hart in second, Eric Papanow in third, Skip Gandy in fourth, Brad Prenger in fifth, David Payton in sixth, Michael Witt in 7th, Tim Rogers in 8th, Hayden Swank in 9th, Nick Fleury in 10th, Andrew Payne in 11th, and our winner from last week, Brett Hahn, in 12th. And we also have John Kane in 13th, Cody Green in 14th, Jamie Beasley in 15th, John DeMeester in 16th, John Sanu in 17th, Richard Pruitt in 18th, and Travis Sacoup in 19th. So, given that the amount of racers that we have here today and this first heat race, it's only going to be a single heat race here today for the start of this event. But starting out in the front of the field, we have Devin McDonald in the number 18 machine. He's going to get ready to start this race next to Ron Hart in the 05-1 machine there as the pace car gets ready to go here and rocking and rolling. We're making our way around the field and getting things set off here and set to go as we get into action here. Making our first turns around the track here today at the USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida. Coming from last week, we had a lot of great action, a solid green flag race. So this week, I'm hoping to see the same thing from these guys. I'm hoping that the guys in the cars are kind of hoping to see the same thing happen here today, because that's what we would like to always see from these guys. Lights are off on our pace car, and we are getting ready to set things off here for our first few laps around the track here. 7 laps in our heat race here today. Only going to be a single one, so wherever these guys finish here in the heat races is where they're going to start, and the pace car is in, and we are rocking and rolling here. The green flag is out. Devin McDonald trying to take a gap on the rest of the field, but Ron Hart able to do so a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently here. We see the rest of our field coming through there. Ron Hart and Devin McDonald still duking it out side by side. Devin McDonald able to pull out in front of the field here. We have Eric Papanow in the 43 taking the low line next to Ron Hart. They're going to be side by side battling it for second place, while Devin McDonald is still trying to keep it out in front, but Eric Papanow doing an excellent job working his way through the field. He's going to take that low line, getting around Ron Hart, but I hear incidents behind the rest of the field here. Let's take a look. It looks like Hayden Swank is involved in the first incident here. Let's get a replay on that and see what happens. You're looking at Hayden Swank in the 35 on your screen currently. And he just gets tapped from the number 26. I believe that's Michael Witt. And also gets another love tap from John DeMeester. John DeMeester just not able to find anywhere else to go to avoid that situation there. Wow. A lot of action and happening here right off the rip here at the USA International Speedway, but hopefully these guys will be able to work out the kinks here in the heat race and get things sorted for the feature here as we come out of turn 4. Wow, oh wow, that was an exciting first first lap, I gotta say. A lot of great action that we saw there. And for anyone watching at home, if you're listening and if things sound a little bit different, or sound a little bit odd, or a little bit quiet, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Working out the kinks kind of on the fly here, but hopefully everything is sounding good for everyone watching. As we get ready to start our next bit of action here, drivers still making their way around the track behind the pace car, getting themselves sorted out, ready to go here. But I gotta say, Devin McDonald had an excellent start there, able to hold it out in front of Eric Papanow in that number 43. And I gotta say, Eric Papanow is definitely looking like he wants to be a top contender here today. We're seeing a lot of competition coming out of that number 18 machine. So it's going to be interesting to see what Eric's going to be able to do here today. And hopefully he's going to have a good race here today. And hopefully find himself in a podium finish for today. But I don't want to throw a wrench into the mix of things too early for Eric Papanow. I'm going to let him do his work behind the wheel, as he always does every week that he is here for the Frito Super Late Model Touring Series. All of these drivers here have been very committed to this series and have done an excellent job week in and week out. Had some hiccups here and there, but these guys have always come together and tried to figure out ways to improve themselves and make the racing better, not only for themselves, but for everyone watching. It's always great to see an improvement among the field, quite at a significant rate, if I do say so myself. With only 6 laps left to go here in this heat race, an interesting start to the first heat race here. Well, the first and only heat race here today, as we only have 19 drivers present here today. Normally, we would only start 2 heat races with a minimum of 24 drivers, allowing 12 drivers between both heat races, kind of keep things even. As we patiently wait for the pace car to make its way back into pit road here. The lights are off though, so we are going to get back into the action here rather quickly here. We're going to come into turn 3 and come out of turn 4. Hopefully we'll see that pace car head into pit road here quickly. And we do. So coming out of turn 4, we're going to see that green flag drop. Devin McDonald doing an excellent job just trying to hold it out in front of the rest of the field here as we see these drivers making their way through turn 2. Absolutely impressive work for these guys here. Oh, and we have a car sideways, the number 51 of Brad Prenger. Oh, excuse me, that's not the 51 of Brad Prenger. I believe that's the 70. Whoa, no, it's not. That was Ron Hart in the 51, the 051 on my timing, but having 2 different 51 here is a little tricky to get used to, but we're going to make things work. But unfortunate to see that happen there for Ron Hart here. Let's see if we can take a quick look at that real quick and see what happened here, if that is at all possible. I am currently... Oh, there we are. Nope, that is not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. No, it is not. That's okay. All right. So we are on our second caution here. The first and only heat race of today here at the USA International Speedway. So things are getting a little interesting already for this race. It's going to be interesting to see what happens for the duration here, what these drivers are going to be able to do, and what they're going to try and make work for them. Make things just a little bit easier for themselves, as things are looking a little spicy already. Now, this isn't exactly the longest track in the world. This is definitely a short track, and speaking of short tracks, this is actually going to be the last, I guess you could say, official short track that we're going to see here for the final 3 races here for the Frito Super Late Model Touring Series. So, with only 2 races left to go after this one is complete, we're going to Iowa next and Phoenix Raceway to finish out the series, or the season rather. This is definitely going to be the final chance for a lot of these drivers to really prove themselves and show that they're able to be competitive here on these short tracks, at least until the start of the next season. We're currently leading out in the front of the field. We have Skip Gandy, Brad Prenger, and David Payton as well, first, second, and third respectively. We also have Nick Fleury and Tim Rogers also in fourth and fifth as well. So a lot of great drivers here in the front of the field. A lot of great action that we're going to see from these drivers here today. As we see our drivers make their way through turn 4 nice and slowly behind the pace car. Let's get a nice close look here at all of our drivers competing in today's race. A lot of great paint schemes as well, I gotta say. Lights are off on the pace car. Once again, we're going to make our way through turn 3 and out of 4. And we'll see our pace car come in, and our green flag will drop here with Skip Gandy taking a lead on the rest of the field here. Brad Prenger trying to, looks like, ward off the 38 and the 25 of David Payton and Nick Fleury. A little bit of competition here for the second place spot, but Skip Gandy's not having to worry about any of it, as he's getting quite the gap here already with nearly a half a second and closing. With 4 laps left to go here in this heat race, it's going to be a very interesting end to this heat race, figuring out who is going to start where at the for the feature. Brad Prenger is looking to start second at the very least. And David Payton as well is trying to work his... Oh, and as we see a little bit of a bump and a grind there from Nick Fleury and Andrew Payne getting into one another, going sideways a little bit, but both drivers able to hold it together and keep on racing here. We also have Brett Hahn in the 71. Also on the tail of Nick Fleury in the 25, doing an excellent job just staying on that bumper, taking advantage of that bump trap, able to take a lot of speed going through these turns here. But 2 laps left to go. We have a battle here for 4th. Oh, and we have a driver on the wall that looks like Brad Prenger in the 51. Decided to take his tires onto the wall for just a slight second here, but our final lap. Our white flag is out. Skip Gandy is looking to finish first here for this heat race here today, as he comes out of turn 4 and looking excellent as well doing so. There goes Skip Gandy. David Payton and Brad Prenger able to take it across the line for first, second, and third. And that's going to finish out our first heat race here today. And our only heat race as we get our warm-up ready to go here. All right, and while our drivers have their warm-up, we are going to have a quick word with Skip Gandy in the number 20. Figure out how his heat race went for him. Skip, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Skip, you had quite the interesting heat race there. We had a lot of quite a few cautions there for a heat race, considering. How was it kind of dealing with all the carnage happening around you and able to work your way up to first? I mean, that's quite impressive. Able to put yourself in the front line for the feature race, and you got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that was actually a gift, but I'll take it however they come.
Yeah, Skip, that definitely seemed to work in your advantage quite well. So hopefully it'll play in your favor for the feature. Now, speaking of which, how are you feeling about the feature? What are you kind of expecting tonight?
The car is good, so just hopefully I can maintain, at least stay up front throughout the evening and be there at the end.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely going to be important here. It's going to be a longer race tonight, but yeah, as long as you can keep it clean, man, just keep consistent, you're going to do just fine. And starting off first tonight, I think it's gonna play out for you quite well. So hopefully I'll get to talk to you again tonight. But good luck out to you there tonight, Skip, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you again tonight.
I appreciate you talking to me, bud.
Yeah, absolutely, Skip. Thank you for talking.
No problem, buddy.
All right, that was Skip Gandy in the number 20. We have 3 minutes left in our warm-up here. Let's have one more word here with our second place finisher, David Payton, in the number 38. David, sir, can you read me? Hello, David. All right, so it looks like David's a little bit busy at the moment, so we'll let him do his thing, and we'll come back to him at another time. That's all right, though. We're taking a look at what's happening on the field here. We got a lot of interesting action happening on our screens here as drivers get warmed up and ready to go here. But the thing that I want to talk about kind of the most here is we haven't really seen much of Brett Hahn so far in the start of this race here today. But given that it was only just the heat race that we had here, you know, Brett is currently the leader in points in this series, so he's definitely going to be the driver to watch out for. But we also have a few other drivers, actually, that are still competing for points. Nick Fleury is one of those drivers. He's currently, as far as the points is letting me know, I would say Nick Fleury is about 27 points behind Brett Hahn currently. So there's definitely a chance for whoever finishes this series in first. There's definitely a chance for that to change. But given that we saw an impressive finish from Brett Hahn last week, finished first as well, it's going to be hard to say what we're going to kind of see here from the rest of the series. Is it going to be one of those scenarios where you know, the leader just kind of continues to dominate and it's just that's all she wrote, or is it going to be something where someone comes out from the field and just comes out every week and tries to do their absolute best to compete here and really make a statement for themselves? So, I really got to ask myself, who is going to be the person to look out for? There's a lot of different people, I think, fit in that category, and man, I got to say, it's definitely an uncertainty as far as who is going to be the surefire winner of this series. But our warm-up has concluded with the driver ending up in the wall as well. I believe that was the 21 of Tim Rogers. That I am incorrect again. That is fine. We are going to go into our grid for today's heat race, or excuse me, for today's feature race. We have Skip Gandy starting first with David Payton in second, Brad Prenger in third, Brett Hahn in fourth, Andrew Payne in fifth, Ron Hart in sixth, Nick Fleury in seventh, Hayden Swank in eighth, Jamie Beasley in ninth, Tim Rogers in 10th, John Kane in 11th, and John Sinu in 12th. And then 13th, we have Devin McDonald. 14th is Michael Witt. 15th, Cody Green. John DeMeester in 16th. Eric Papanow in 17th. Richard Pruitt in 18th. And Travis Sakou in 19th. Our drivers are getting ready to go here, start their race for today. A lot of exciting, interesting action that we're going to see here tonight that I think is going to be rather fun to watch. This is a very, very fast. I almost, man, it's kind of hard to say. It's a very fast track, but it's also not at the same time. It's kind of weird. I was tested around on this track earlier this week, and just kind of messing around with the super late models, and it's definitely a fun track to be at. So hopefully the drivers feel the same way. Hopefully we see a lot of great action come out of these drivers here at the USA International Speedway. Lights are off on the pace car. This is going to be our final lap around the track before we let things go here and get things rocking and rolling for our next way around the track here. Excellent view of the field here as we make our way through turns 3 and 4. Our pace car is going to head into pit road, and we are going to get the action started. Green flag is going to drop. Skip Gandy in the number 20 machine is going to take a lead on the field here. An impressive one at that as well, with David Payton, Brad Prenger, Ron Hart, Andrew Payne side by side, as well as Hayden Swank also in the mix, but just a little bit further back, kind of in his lonesome, but not too far behind. And Andrew Payne just gets a little bit of a love tap from the 35 of Hayden Swank, able to keep control of it. And another one, it seems like, there as well. We have some action developing here for 5th place. Currently, Hayden Swank is absolutely on the rear of that number 93 of Andrew Payne, putting the pressure on as hard as he possibly can and doing an absolutely impressive job. All of these drivers here doing a fantastic job of just holding on to their lines, staying very clean here as we make our way through turn 2. Looking absolutely impressive there. Skip Gandy still able to hold on to his impressive lead there. Hayden Swank looking like he's starting to fall back just a little bit here. He's not able to stay on the bumper of Andrew Payne too much, but as we go into these turns here and Andrew Payne loses more speed, Hayden's able to recoup some of that loss. But Ron Hart in the number 51, he's up 2 positions currently from where he started in this race. So excellent job there from Ron Hart, currently going to be 4th, trying to duke it out for any spot that he can currently, as he's going to be behind Brad Prenger in the number, also the number 51. So we have 2 51s here on our screens, but Ron Hart in the white and green, white and black, I would rather say, with the green colored numbers. That is going to be Ron Hart and Brad Prenger, also the number 51. Frito-Lay sponsored 51 machine. Just to sort the difference out for everyone that might be confused at home. But I'm sure that everyone here that is watching currently is quite familiar with these guys and very familiar with how impressive these guys here are on the track. But on your screen currently, Brad Pranger, he's going to be down 5 positions from where he started, currently in 8th. Now he's going to be behind Nick Fleury in the number 25, trying to regain some of that lost position. Lap 8 of 125 here. Everything is green so far. We're looking pretty solid here, and the drivers are looking fairly impressive. Let's go up to our... Oh, and actually we have drivers off track. Let's take a quick gander and see what happened there. Really fast here. Oh man. We have the 51 of Ron Hart getting a little sideways, causing Andrew Payne to dip down low, getting involved in that as well. And our caution comes out. Let's take a look at what happened here. We have Devin McDonald involved in the incident. Let's see what happens. Devin McDonald in the number 18 machine here. Not able to regain control of the car, but able to keep it from going into the wall. So absolutely great job there from Devin McDonald, able to keep somewhat control of the car as it wanted to get away from him ever so eagerly, it seemed. And of course, you know, commentators curse. The moment that I said that everything was green and looking good, the caution came out. You know, it almost, you would think that we would learn, us commentators. You know, jinxing things is never a good idea. We still do it anyway. But currently we are riding on board here with David Payton in the number 38. He's going to be in 2nd place currently. Just watching everyone else fall in behind him as well. And just what a fantastic view, I gotta say. Looks like our pace car lights are out. So we are going to be going around the track one more time, and then we are going to let these guys get things rocking and rolling here once again for the 2nd time here for the feature race. Lap 8 of 125. An impressive start to the race, so let's see if these guys can do it one more time and see if we can hold on to that for just a little bit longer the 2nd time around. But our pace car is finally in, and our green flag is going to come out, and Skip Gandy is going to take a massive jump on the field here. Absolutely impressive as he makes his way through turn 1, coming into turn 2. As we see their drivers making their way, looking absolutely fantastic. Coming down the back straight, though, Skip Gandy still in the lead. David Payton on his tail, trying to do what he possibly can here. David is absolutely trying to make something work. You see Andrew Payne getting a little bit sideways there as he comes out of turns. I believe that was turn 4. But Skip Gandy doing an absolutely impressive job trying to stay out in the lead. I don't think he's got anything to worry about currently, as we have the 51 of Ron Hart going to be door-to-door with Andrew Payne there for just a moment, but he's able to get out in front of him, and now he's going to be behind David Payton for the 3rd place position, so he's going to be looking pretty good, wanting to hold on to that as long as he possibly can here. These guys are doing an absolutely fantastic job of just staying very close to one another, trying to just keep this race as fast and as quick as possible. It's looking very fantastic from from my perspective, I hope everyone watching from home is enjoying what they're seeing as well. This is just fantastic racing from these guys here in the American Sim Racing Club. I'm almost at a loss for words. These guys are just doing an absolutely fantastic job going single file here, but if you're looking at the spacing, before I alluded to before, we're going to actually head up to the Team Boot Squad blimp, see if we can get a little bit better view of how close these guys actually are going through these turns. And you can see there just how close these guys actually are to one another. There's maybe a car and a half length between some guys, but between other there's inches or maybe a few feet at most. As you see Hayden Swank there getting a little bit of a gap between himself and Ron Hart in the 51, but able to recoup that going into these turns. Hayden Swank seems to have it figured out pretty well, that he's able to reduce his speed a lot quicker going into these turns and catch up, kind of going into the turns on people that are a little bit faster in the straightaways. Very impressive work there from Hayden Swank. Let's take a quick moment as well, too. Let's hop on board with the nose camera of Hayden Swank and see what we can see from his perspective as well. So currently riding on board here with Hayden Swank. You can kind of listen to his throttle here as he gets on it, pedal to the metal, just a little bit through the straightaways, just enough to give him a little bit of close the gap between himself and Ron Hart in the 51 there. You can see just how close he gets to the bumper of Ron Hart. Very impressive work from Hayden Swank here. And as he's attempting to, seem like, make a pass here around David Payton in the 38, quite possibly going to take a third place position here for this race, and I think he's going to do that. He's successful as he has Andrew Payne on his tail as well, giving him a little bit of a bump draft, pushing him forward just a little bit. So now Hayden Swank is going to be in third place for this race. But we also have Nick Fleury also joining in on the mix as well. Andrew Payne able to work his way up into fourth place. Things are shaping up to be very interesting very quickly for these guys here today. A lot of drivers here out in front that I did not expect to see out in front this early on. Very, very solid work from these guys, so let's hope that they're able to hold on to it and keep things going. And so far, they're looking very, very solid out there, and hopefully we'll see that play forward here. But Hayden Swank looked like he had a bit of a moment there, getting just a little bit sideways as he has Andrew Payne almost on the bumper. You can see here riding on board with Hayden Swank, Andrew Payne getting as close as he possibly can to that 35 of Hayden Swank here. Doing an absolutely impressive job trying to do so. Almost seemingly trying to find a line to make a pass around the 35 that Andrew Payne is. Fantastic work that we're seeing from the number 93 driver, Andrew Payne. But Nick Fleury in the number 25 is also, oh, we have a car sideways. The number 21 of Tim Rogers is going to be on the top of the field, and he gets love tapped, not able to avoid having another car get into him. I'm not sure who that car is. Looks like the number 86, John Sinu, getting involved in that one as well. Just not able to slow up enough in time to avoid getting into Tim Rogers' car. But let's have a quick look here at what happened. Just one more time. So it looks like Tim Rogers here doing a little bit of Tokyo drift into the wall. Not a whole lot of options for Tim Rogers. He couldn't go backward, couldn't go forward, so He's kind of stuck in that position. Unfortunate for Tim Rogers as well as John Sinu, involved in that incident as well. So we have drivers in pit road now, making their way. Tim Rogers, Cody Green, John Sinu. You can see it on the bottom of your screen. I apologize that part of it is a little cut off. I will fix that for the next race, but it will give you an idea of who is in the pit road at this moment in time, how long they're there for, and when they leave. Just to give you guys a little bit more of information as far as when your favorite driver has gone into pit road, how long they've been in there, and if they had a good pit or not. Just a little something for the viewers at home who enjoy the numbers, as I would like to say. But lap 24, excuse me, of 125 here. 23 again. I'm gonna stick with 23. Our second caution here for this race. It's been impressive so far. Given how close these guys are in regards to one another as far as distance, it's honestly impressive that we haven't had more this far in the race. Just given how close everyone is to one another, it just goes to show how extremely talented these guys are. Able to respect one another enough to, you know, not blatantly get into the rear of someone and throw them off the track, or worst case, throw both yourselves and other people out of the race. It's a lot of respect here and a lot of just talent, raw talent that we're seeing from these guys, as we are going to go green once again here, with Skip Gandy taking a lead on the field once again, able to do it very consistently here as well. So very impressive to see that happen for Skip. As we have Hayden Swank and Ron Hart duking it out side by side for second place now. Andrew Payne also on the rear of both of those drivers as well, as they're still door to door almost. Hayden Swank trying his hardest to get out in front of that 51 machine of Ron Hart. He's having quite a bit of difficulty trying to make that work and make it happen for himself though. But Hayden Swank doing his absolute best, trying to make something work for him. But Andrew Payne as well, also getting in on some of this action, trying to make a little bit of an impact for his race here today. As drivers make their way through turn 2. Absolutely impressive driving from these guys here. Andrew Payne still on the bumper of Ron Hart, trying to just keep his position as far as I can tell. But it's, you know, it's one of these races where you really want to try and make an impact. This is the last short track race that we have here in this series. So before you head out into the last final 2 races, where things are not going to be short track, they're going to be very long, very lengthy, very long races, to say the least. It's, you know, I would like to think that a lot of these guys want to try and do their best for the last hoorah, if you will. So Andrew Payne trying to make himself something work for him tonight, but Brett Hahn also slowly working his way through the field in the number 71. He's going to be trying to get up into the top 3 here as well tonight, and hopefully take another podium finish for himself and give himself even more of a lead in points. But we'll see how that shakes up for Brett Hahn here, as we still have a long race to go and a bunch of cars getting into one another. My oh my, what an incident that we had here. Let's take a quick little gander at that here and see what happened. We're looking at Jamie Beasley currently. That is not the one that I want. My apologies, everyone. believe this is the one I want. So Hayden Swank and Skip Gandy both go sideways, and Andrew Payne and Brett Hahn both collide into one another as Andrew was trying to find his way through that carnage of a field. Wow. Well, let's take it back to our live view here and process what that just did to our field. So Ron Hart is now first, Brett Hahn is second, and Nick Fleury is third, and David Payton is fourth. You know, going back to what I was talking about earlier, about how I wasn't too sure on who I could call for this race, this is why, okay? This is exactly why. It's just I never expect these things, you know. It's always just kind of, it's wild. It's great. I love it. That's what makes these races just so interesting to watch, so much fun to watch. It's great fun. As our drivers make their way through the front stretch here, behind the pace cars, going single file here for our third caution, lap 31 of 125. So Devin McDonald is going to be getting a lap around as well. I believe Hayden Swank and Skip Gandy are also going to be drivers that are going to receive a lap around as well to regain their lost lap, I do believe, if I'm correct. Alright though, but for everyone watching at home, I hope you all are enjoying the content so far, enjoying the race. It's been an interesting 31 laps here thus far. We have a lot more action left here to go though. As the lights go off on the pace car, we're going to make our final lap around here at USAX. Yes, this is going to be our final lap around here at USA International Speedway. Before we let our drivers get ready to go here once again for another green flag attempt here. And our pace car enters into pit road. And our green flag is out. Ron Hart is going to attempt to take a jump on the field here. He's successful in doing so, but he's going to have Brett Hahn in the 71, an absolute monster of a machine. Going to be on his tail, absolutely putting the pressure. You can see here, riding on board here with Ron Hart, Brett Hahn is getting as close as he possibly can, trying to make a pass and see what he can possibly do here as we make our way through turn one. Coming out of turn two here, Brett Hahn getting absolutely close. I can feel a pass coming here very, very shortly. But Nick Fleury is going to be in third place currently as well. He's going to have David Payton behind him, as well as Brad Prenger also in the mix, as well as Michael Witt and Eric Papineau. All of these drivers are going to be fantastic ones to keep an eye out for the rest of this race here today. But Brett Hahn is looking to try and take some lead laps here today at USA International Speedway. as he is still on the bumper of Ron Hart's machine there. Coming into turn 3. Both of these drivers taking the low line, not really giving Brett a whole lot of opportunities to make a pass here, at least successfully. He's going to continue to try and work some magic in that 71, see what he can possibly do here. But the rest of these drivers here, the rest of the field, they're still trying to make the race work for them as well, as we have Brad Prenger in the 51. Going to be making his way through turn 1. Coming out of turn 2 here, we have David Payton in front of him, Michael Witt. All the rest of our drivers here making their way through turn 2 there as well. Now we're coming out of turn 3, going into turn 4 and out of it as well into the straightaway. And Brad Prenger going to be 5th place, currently down 2 from where he started. So he's going to be looking to try and gain some positions here. Going to be putting the pressure on David Payton just a little bit to try and see if he can make something happen for himself. We're looking a little bit further back in the field here. We're going to look at Eric Papanow in the number 43, a driver that we saw a little bit during the heat race, doing an excellent job, almost seeming like he was going to finish first in that heat race there, but wasn't quite able to. So we're going to see him in 7th place, currently up 10 positions from where he started in this race. So he's going to be looking to get in the top 5, at least I think currently. But he's going to have Michael Witt in the 26 in front of him as some competition. But Eric's doing an excellent job, just trying to... Looks like he's just trying to maintain his car as best as he can, not trying to wear it down too much too early on here. Lap 40 of 125. Be an interesting one here to see who is going to be able to save their tires the best, save on fuel, and keep their car in the race as long as possible. So Eric Papanow has definitely worked his way through the field quite significantly. He's still got some work left for him, but impressive work from Eric. See him in 7th place currently. Hopefully we'll see him work his way through the field more and more as the race progresses. Looks like Jamie Beasley has been involved in an incident, but we don't have a caution out on the field. It might have been a single car incident as well. I'm not too sure. We have Tim Rogers heading into pit road. Actually, never mind. But heading back into the action here, we're going to be looking at Richard Pruitt in the 24 machine. He's going to be 9th place. Where he's at currently, he's going to be up 9 positions from where he started. He's going to be kind of in his lonesome right now. Not a whole lot of drivers around him that he has to worry about. He has Hayden Swank in the 35, seemingly quickly catching up to him. But other than that, he's looking pretty comfortable where he's at. Hopefully we'll get to see Richard kind of work his way through the field as well and maybe compete kind of with the front pack here, but it seems like he's going to have a little bit of distance to close before he's able to make that work. But so far, Richard seems to be having a good race here. Just a matter of keeping the car clean and keeping it on track. That's the name of the game. But looking back out in the front of the field here, Brett Hahn was able to make the pass on Ron Hart. So Brett's going to be taking some lead laps here around USA International Speedway with Ron Hart almost on his bumper, going even through these turns and on the straightaways. Ron Hart's looking to try and take that position back. I'm sure that he wasn't... Oh, you saw Ron there just get a little bit sideways. Definitely lost some time there, but able to hold on to that. We have lap traffic. John DeMeester in the number 2 machine, taking the high line, getting out of the way for the guys on the lead lap. Brett Hahn doing an absolutely impressive job, just trying to take that low line as best as he possibly can and stay out in front of Ron Hart and not let him get any sort of room to pass him on. But looking back further in the field, we have Nick Fleury in the number 25. He's going to be in his lonesome as well. Well, let's actually head up to our blimp here and get a better look at the field here, just to give you guys a glimpse at how far these drivers are spread out amongst each other. We have Nick Fleury also making his way up to the lapped car of John DeMeester in that number 2 machine. And so you can see there's quite a bit of distance, and Nick Fleury's in 3rd place. We can actually also pull up our track map as well. So on your screen in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the number of each driver. You can see their positions on screen here. Nick Fleury in the number 25. You can see just how far away that number 25 is from the 1st and 2nd place cars of Brett Hahn and Ron Hart. So there's a lot of distance to close between these guys. And I don't think it's going to happen very soon or very easily. It's going to take a lot of time, and I think a significant amount of laps to make that work. But Nick Fleury's making the best of it. He's making it work, and going to see what he can do, and hopefully see him hold on to at least that 3rd place position, maybe even more. Well, we're actually going to take another look back here at David Payton in 4th place currently. He's going to have a battle set up for himself, as he has Brad Prenger in the 51, as well as Michael Witt and Andrew Payne and Eric Papinow, kind of all single file. There's a little bit of distance between these drivers. I would say enough to at least make David comfortable enough that he doesn't have to worry too much about having at least 4 or 5 cars attacking him at once, or trying to make a pass on him at once. Right now he only has Brad Prenger on his tail. That's on his bumper currently, and we can take a quick look too just how close he actually is to Brad Prenger, and you can see on your screen currently just how close Brad Prenger is getting to the rear of David Payton's machine there, and looks like Brad got into the wall just a little bit there. A little bit of a love tap and a grind. But we're going to look back here just a little, even a little further back. We have Andrew Payne in the number 93 machine trying to work his way through the field as well. He's in 6th place, down 1 from where he started. He's going to be behind Brad Prenger in the 51, trying to seemingly make a pass, and you saw there on your screen Brad Prenger just getting a little bit sideways, and that's going to give Andrew Payne the advantage. That's going to give him 5th place, and now Andrew's going to have a mission to try and catch up to David Payton in the 38, who is currently 4th. And it looks like he might be able to pull that off rather quickly here, as it seems like he's doing that rather effectively and rather fast. Excellent work here that we're seeing from Andrew Payne. Lap 58 of 125. We are just getting a little bit closer to that halfway point. And this race is looking fantastic. A lot of great action that we're seeing, a lot of great passing, fantastic driving that we're seeing, and we've seen already a lot of drivers getting a little loose, getting a little sideways with their cars, but able to hold on to it in most scenarios. So excellent work from these guys. But Eric Papinow in the 43, we're going to be looking at here for just a little bit. Eric's he's going to be up 10 positions, still in 7th place from where he started today's race. Eric is still just trying to work his way through the field as quickly as he possibly can, and looking fantastic doing so. Coming out of turns 4 here, we're going to see our drivers making their way around turn 4 here, looking fantastic as always. But Eric Papinow going to be on the bumper almost of Brad Prenger in the 51. Going to be knocking on the door of 6th place here very, very shortly, I believe. And we might even see some side-by-side action here coming up, brewing up here very, very shortly here for 7th place. A lot of things are shaping up very, very quickly for some of these guys that might be looking to finish in at least a top 10 podium or a top 10 position. Excuse me, not a top 10 podium position. That would be a little strange, I think. But for a lot of these guys that might be looking to finish in a particular spot, this is definitely the race to do it. A lot of things have changed very quickly. But things are wrapping up just as quickly as they started. Lap 64 of 125. Laps are ticking by faster than you can blink almost. But Brett Hahn and Ron Hart, just looking at the action here between these two drivers. Looking on board here with Brett Hahn in the 71. You can just see how well Brett is holding on to his line, taking these bottom lines going into these turns, coming out of the turns, getting onto the throttle very nicely, not going into the turns too aggressively as well, not letting that car get away from him. Absolutely impressive work here that we're seeing from Brett Hahn. And Ron Hart in the 51, in the 051 I should say, is he's really, you know, he's not in the best place to try and make a pass with Brett Hahn. You know, this would sort of be the situation where you're kind of just playing cat and mouse, almost. You know, you don't really have the advantage of draft support from other drivers. You don't have lap traffic involved. There's just not enough variables to work with to be able to make a pass effective here, I think. In Ron Hart's case. It seems like the 71 is pretty well matched with that 051, but that, I don't know. Ron Hart seems to have a lot of speed in that 051. There seems to be a lot of sauce in that car. So we'll see what happens with Ron Hart here. I'm almost expecting Ron to kind of unleash the demon towards the end of this race, so, if you will. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see what happens. But checking back here with Nick Fleury in 3rd place currently as well. We're going to actually look at our track map here as well again and give you guys an idea of where all of these drivers are on the track. You can kind of see on the track map just how spaced out a lot of these guys are. We have quite the pack here brewing between. Looks like David Payton in the 38 all the way to Michael Witt in the 26. That's going to be 4th to 8th place currently, so handful of drivers involved in that pack there. Let's actually tune in with those guys and see what is brewing for 4th place driver David Payton in the number 38. David's going to have quite the competition behind him. He's going to have Andrew Payne and Brad Prenger, both 5th and 6th currently, right on his tail, essentially. Brad Prenger is going to be using the draft of Andrew Payne to stay in tow. And Andrew Payne is just putting the pressure on David as much as he can. It almost seems like he's trying to force David to slip up as much as he possibly can here, but let's ride on board with the nose camera here of Andrew Payne, excuse me, and just have a look at how close he's trying to get to David here, coming out of turns 4 here. impressive work just trying to get on that bumper, but David Payton doing a good job. Looks like David's able to get on that throttle just a little bit earlier than Andrew. Able to accelerate out of the turn. Yeah, there he goes again. So yeah, it looks like David's got a little bit better throttle management coming out of these turns here, which is giving him the advantage here and able to keep him out in fifth, or in fourth, excuse me. But Andrew Payne he's eager. I can hear it in his I can hear it in the car. He wants to be where David is right now, and I don't think Andrew is going to give up anytime soon before that happens. So we're going to keep an eye on Andrew Payne here in the number 93 in fifth place currently. See what he can pull off here for tonight's race. Looking back even further, just a little bit, 8th place, Eric Papanow in the 43. You know, it's hard to choose who to look at. Everyone is just kind of all over the place at the moment. Like I said, there's a few groups to gander at here and there, but a lot of these guys are racing very consistently, very clean. And we're at the point now as well where even if a driver gets into a wall, most of the time they're usually able to get themselves off the track, at least in iRacing, to be able to keep the race green. So it's kind of hard to say who's going to be the person to watch here. We have guys all over the place, and you know, Brett Hahn and Ron Hart still first and second. Nothing has really changed there. And I almost think my theory is spot on for Ron Hart. I think Ron is. I think he's saving that car for the very, very end. I really do. You know, Ron is doing a fantastic job just staying behind Brett Hahn, and we've already seen earlier in this race how fast that 051 is. So as we get closer and closer to the final 25 or so laps, I definitely am going to be curious to see where Ron Hart is going to find himself on the track. Not sure if he's going to have a wider gap between himself and Brett Hahn. It kind of looks like already too that there's a bit of distance forming between these two drivers here in first and second, but not very much. And it looks like Ron Hart is able to recoup that almost immediately. So I'm not sure. There's a lot of interesting things happening right now for everyone watching at home. And Nick Fleury, third place still. And I think he's going to be comfortable where he's at. Lap 85 of 125. Not that many laps left to go here. We're looking at about 49 laps now before the end of this race. And I don't know. Excuse me. It was not 49. It's 39 laps. I apologize. I can't do math for some reason. But anywho, Nick Fleury in third place, up 4 from where he started. I think he's going to be quite comfortable from where he's at. You know, I don't think any of these drivers want to see a caution come out, especially this late in the race. That would kind of just be stubbing your toe kind of feeling, I think, for most drivers. But I want to take a second here, and I want to actually talk about Andrew Payne able to work his way up into fourth place now. Somehow managed to find a way to get around David Payton and Brad Prenger. So he's going to be fourth place and looking to work his way up to Nick Fleury. Let's actually hop up to the blimp here and just see how much distance is between these two drivers here. And if on our looking from the blimp's point of view, It seems like a lot, but when you're looking at the track map there in your lower right corner, or in the lower right-hand corner, there's actually not that much distance between these guys. And I think that gap's going to be closed pretty quickly here, I think. Pretty quickly. David Payton in the number 38 is, man, down 4 positions from where he started. Not having the race that he wanted to have today, I think. It's unfortunate that we didn't get a chance to talk to him before the start of the feature, being that he did finish second for the heat race. And yeah, I'm sure that David's feeling a little upset right now about his performance. And it's, you know, it's not anything of his fault. Things happen, incidents happen. You can't avoid it always. It's always bound to happen, so David's just making the best of it. But speaking of people making the best of it, Michael Witt in the number 26, going to be up 6 positions from where he started as he gets passed by Hayden Swank in the 35. Michael just seems to be having a nice drive today. Just taking it easy, not trying to be too aggressive on the car. Put himself completely out of the race. So, excellent job there from Michael Witt in the number 26. Just taking it easy today, it seems like. Just trying to have a good, clean race. But I want, for a moment, to ride on board with Ron Hart in the 051 and see some of the action that we have going on there. But as I say that, my software crashed. So while I fix that, we still have on our screen Michael Witt making his way through the field. Just a moment, everybody. I'm getting it sorted out here for you guys. All right, there we go. I apologize for that one, everyone. That was definitely not supposed to happen here. So we're going to get back into the action here. We have Ron Hart in the 051 machine in second place currently. I wanted to hop on board with Ron Hart before we were rudely interrupted by our software. So let's hop on board with Ron Hart in the 051 and just have a listen to that machine and how Ron is pushing it. Actually have a wreck involving one of our drivers here. It looks like Brett Hahn got involved in that one. It does not look like we have a caution coming out onto the field either. I'm at a loss here as far as what happened there. Brett Hahn's now going to be second, and Ron Hart will be first. So we have definitely had quite the switch up on the front of the field here. Brett Hahn is not going to be happy, to say the least. 21 laps left to go here at the USA International Speedway for the Frito Super Late Model Touring Series. Well, I mean, Brett Hahn's still leading in points, so it wouldn't hurt him to not finish first today, but we all know that Brett Hahn likes to win and enjoys being out in front. So that is what he's going to do and try and make happen here. But it's second place. I don't think he would be too upset with that either, as it seems like the gap between himself and Ron Hart has increased to a significant amount, nearly a second and a half between the first and second place driver here. So quite the distance to close between the 71 and the 051 of Ron Hart. But Ron Hart able to lead some laps here once again. He's going to be in some lap traffic with John DeMeester, the number 2 machine, as well as Michael Witt in the 26. Michael Witt looking to get lapped here, as he now has the race leader on his tail. 17 laps left to go here. Drivers making their ways through turn 3 and 4. And Ron Hart, you know, I wasn't expecting Ron to see himself out in the front of the field here today, but he made it work. He made it happen. I don't know how, but he made it work, and I think he's going to be quite pleased with himself to be able to finish here first. If he's can finish the last 15 laps here as cleanly as he possibly can. And Brett Hahn, he's going to be trying to work his way up to Ron Hart here, but with now almost a 3.5 second gap, I don't think that's going to be a possibility here for Brett Hahn, as he's going to need a lot more than 14 laps to be able to close that anytime soon, unless we see another caution come out here. But I don't see that happening, as things have been green here for quite some time. See our drivers make their ways through turns 1 and 2. What's someone you know, it's an interesting day here at USA International Speedway. This has been quite the race to watch. Well, just all sorts of things shaking up throughout the field, and it's hard to keep track of and manage. But everyone doing an excellent job of keeping this race green as long as they have. I believe we've only saw 3 or 4 cautions come out for the feature, so excellent job. Massive props to these drivers for keeping everything green here. As we head up to our blimp to take a look at the space between our drivers here and give them a little bit of a spotlight. We're going to actually take a look at David Payton in the number 38. With 9 laps left to go here, things are going to get very interesting very quickly, as these drivers are going to be wanting to try and finish in the best possible place that they can. as we actually now have a switch up on the field here. We have Ron Hart now in. I see. Ron Hart entered into pit road, and I didn't even notice. And Brett Hahn is actually doing the same thing, coming into pit road. Oh my, things are going to get very interesting here very quickly for these guys. 8 laps left to go. David Payton now also coming into pit lane as well. We are going to have an interesting spectacle on our hands with 7 laps left to go. It just doesn't end. It doesn't end. You think, you know, everything is looking, and I was well aware that they would have to pit at some point. There was no way that they would be able to finish this race without it. It was 7 laps left to go. I am stunned. I'm stunned. This has been absolutely fascinating to watch. Michael Witt in the number 26 now is going to be leading this race with Ron Hart in the 051 in second place and Andrew Payne in third. And it looks like we also have a lap driver here in the mix. The other 51 driver, Brad Prenger. So with 5 laps left to go here, Ron Hart is going to take the low line around Michael Witt and is going to lead the rest of this race here with 5 laps left to go. And Brett Hahn, nowhere in sight. Wow. How the tables have turned. Ron Hart up 10 places from where he started. In first place currently, Brad Prenger looking like he wants to get out in front of these guys, but Andrew Payne also looks like he wants to get some of this action. 3 laps left to go here. Andrew Payne is going to be leading first. Ron Hart and Andrew Payne going to be battling it out side by side for first place. 3 laps left to go here, coming out of turns 4. Oh, and we have a driver on his side. Oh, Ron Hart. Oh, no. The caution comes out with 3 laps left to go in this race. I am stunned, everyone. I am stunned. This has, wow. 3 laps left to go in this race, and that happens. Well, there's a lot of things that could happen now, and my certainty of who is going to win this race now is even less than what it was about 90 seconds ago. So this is going to be very interesting, very exciting to see what happens here for the final 3 laps here at USA International Speedway. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this race. This has been fantastic. I have no words. I have no words. This is very, very interesting to say the least. Andrew Payne now is going to be in first place, with Michael Witt in second and Brett Hahn in third. And will Andrew Payne be able to pull off another podium finish for himself for this season? We will find out very shortly. And will Brett Hahn be able to get another first place finish for today? That we will also find out. And for anyone watching as well, it is not the first caution of this race. If you were watching earlier, my software decided that it didn't want to work anymore. So I had to restart it and get things functioning once again. So we lost all the data that we had from before, but that's all right. Not a big issue. As the lights are out on our pace car, this is going to be our final time around under yellow flag conditions. 2 laps left to go, 3 laps left to go here. Who is going to be our race winner? Pace car is in. It is not in. I have been lied to. Well, the pace car is in, but it looks like we're actually going to make one more lap around before we get things going here. A little bit of confusion here on the track. Our green flag is out once more, and Andrew Payne is going to take a gap on the field with 2 laps left to go. Brett Hahn on his tail. Is Andrew Payne going to be able to hold on to this lead, though, and finish out this race strong? Only 2 laps to figure that out, so he's going to have to keep things consistent and keep things clean here. Brett Hahn is going to be on his tail, trying to make something work for himself as well. Final lap, though. White flag is out. We're going to be making our final lap around the track here at USA International Speedway. We're looking at the top 2 drivers, first and second place here, as we make our way out of turn 4, across the finish line. Who's going to finish first? It's going to be Andrew Payne and Brett Hahn, first and second respectively, and Eric Papanow in third. Wow. What a race, folks. What a race. We are going to let our race leader get a burnout for a well-earned victory. Andrew Payne in the number 93. Excellent performance from Andrew today. But we are going to get into our first batch of driver interviews here. And up first, we are going to be having a word with Eric Papanow, our 3rd place finisher for today in the number 43 machine. Let's get Eric in here. Eric, sir, can you read me?
Yeah, I got you.
Eric.
A little busy getting pushed at the moment.
Oh, I apologize for... I didn't mean to pull you in too early, my man.
Oh, you're good, man. It's all good. I'm just excited to be here.
Absolutely, Eric. I mean... We both saw it all over the track. There was just changes throughout the field, left and right. It seemed like after every caution, it seemed like the front of the field had changed. The field had changed in some significant way. Almost every restart. What would you agree with that, or how did you see it?
Oh, it was constantly changing. It was ebb and flow all race with who was up there, who was in the back, and everything. Made for some very fun times, I will say that.
I gotta agree. It looked like a fun race to be in. Now, given that you kind of were having to work your way through the field rather significantly, you gained 7 positions in this race. How was it working through this field here tonight? Did you feel kind of overwhelmed, or did it feel pretty good for you here tonight?
Felt pretty good. Was a little loose on exit, but other than that, everything else felt good. I mean, got a great group of drivers that run here. Been here for both seasons with these guys, and I couldn't ask for a better group to be running with. I mean, it's been awesome. Just happy to be here, ecstatic to be able to finally be able to talk to you. I've been waiting for this all season.
Absolutely, Eric. I've seen you out in the front of the field multiple times throughout this season, and yeah, I'm glad to finally have the opportunity to speak with you. And on that note, Eric, is there anyone watching at home that you want to give a shout out to or thank before I let you go?
Well, of course, first off, got to thank God, but I appreciate you guys doing the broadcast. Frito-Lay, Pepsi, Luke Oil, Tiger Ray, not only league sponsor, but one of my sponsors, my teammate sponsors, LibertyLive.Church. I mean, and the group of guys running here, my teammate Skip Gandy. So yeah, it's been a fun run tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, for coming and talking with me tonight, man. And with only 2 races left to go, Eric, I hopefully get to look forward to talking to you again next week and for the final race.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Phoenix is one of my favorite tracks. It's one of my old home tracks, so I got something special coming.
All right, well, we'll be keeping an eye out here in the booth. Eric, you have a great night. Congratulations on 3rd place.
Thank you very much. You have a good one, too.
All right, everyone. That was Eric Papanow in the number 43 machine. Up next, our previous race week winner, Brett Hahn, in the number 71. Brett, sir, can you read me?
Yeah, I got a copy, Mason.
Brett, man, coming from last week with a 1st place finish and coming into this week and finishing out 2nd, it looked like you were going to finish it out first. That's almost my first question for you. What happened? You were leading first there for quite a while, and then all of a sudden I look in my timing and you were 5th or somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, Mason, I was a little too indecisive on my game plan tonight with coming in or staying out, and I tried to save as much fuel as I could to really slow down my laps, and then that came to bite me when I had to pit anyways. But yeah, I had a little issue with a lap car there at one point, and that really slowed me down after that. I'm like, well, I'll try and save, and then I tried to save enough to the finish, and just didn't work out for me. I heard Andrew had at least right side tires. I ran that whole race with the same set of tires, so I was trying to drive the wheels off the 71 machine there at the end.
Yeah, Brett, it really seemed like you were you had a lot of work cut out for you, and you flew through the field almost instantly. It seemed like at the first start of the race, I didn't see you in the front of the field too soon, but then we had all of those cautions come out, and it just changed the field significantly, and I think that kind of played in your favor a little bit. But after that, I mean, yeah, it just seemed the race seemed to be in your favor. But the only other question that I have for you, Brett, the 051 machine of Ron Hart, how was it battling with Ron Hart? It seemed like you guys were having a very solid duke out there for quite some time for 1st place.
Oh yeah, I love racing against Ron. He's a class act out there, and me and him can always throw it down with each other and never make contact. So it's awesome when you get a guy like that to race against and race so hard but so clean with it. It's always gets the blood flowing and a smile on my face knowing that you can throw it in there as hard as you can. The other competitor will do the same, and no hold back or anything, but still keep the cars in the right direction, totally clean. I mean, it's always a blast when I get to see that 51 machine and just try and wait for him to make a mistake, and then hopefully squeak around him, and then he doesn't make a mistake often. So when I saw him make that mistake off of 2, I had to take advantage of it because he is awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. It seemed like you guys were both similar in pace and driving style as well. It was very exciting to watch you guys duke it out. Now, Brett, with a 2nd place finish for this race and only 2 races left to go, I mean, leading the series in points, how are you feeling for the last 2 races?
Oh yeah, Mason, we're luckily sitting in a really good spot that I don't really have to think about points too much as long as we bring the 71 machine across the start finish line at the checkered flag. So take some stress off my back and go out there, just have some fun, race these guys how I want to be raced, and just have a blast with them, Mason. It's the best way to go for racing for a championship is to do it with no stress, let's say.
Absolutely, yeah. It seemed like you were just having a blast out there. Now, before I let you go, Brett, is there anyone watching at home that you want to give a shout out to or thank before you go celebrate?
Oh yeah, Mason. There's a whole list, as you know. Of course, I got a couple buddies here watching tonight. Should be Chris, Jacob, Justin out there, the family, of course, mom, dad, brother, sister, all of them. Maybe even Dawson out there. Of course, all the sponsorships on the car: QuickTime, ASRC, Frito-Lay, Tagaray, PepsiCo, Boosted Brothers Broadcast, and Turn 3 Racing Network. Of course, you guys at Team Goon Squad and you, Mason, thanks again for everything. It's always a blast rewatching these races. All the other Brett the Jet fans out there, we almost had this one, didn't quite play out. The crew chief driver couldn't quite get the call right, but still overall an awesome race, Mason.
Awesome, Brett. Well, I look forward to seeing you in the final 2 races here, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again next week and the final week as well. Brett, thank you for coming and talking with us, man, and enjoy your night.
Yep, thank you, Mason. Thanks again. Thanks to everyone watching out there. Stay safe, and yep, hopefully talk to you these next 2 weeks.
All right, Brett, thank you so much. All right, everyone, that was Brett Hahn in the number 71. And last but certainly not least, Andrew Payne in the number 93 machine. Andrew, sir, can you read me?
I got a copy.
Andrew, man, congratulations on a first place finish for this series. I believe this is either the first or the second first place finish for you in this season. Andrew, you had quite the race out there and a lot of things happening out on track. But you managed to work your way through the field and finish out first. How are you feeling right now, man?
I'm shaky, nervous, excited. I'm just kind of all over the place right now. I'm was not expecting that at all. Especially with like 25 to go. I had no idea that I would even have a shot. The leaders were gone from the rest of us, and they were setting a blistering pace. And then, about 20-ish to go, we all figured out that we weren't making it on fuel, so we all kind of started pitting for fuel and stuff like that. And I decided to take 2 tires, even though it kind of put me behind the ball of everyone else, but it helped the car rotate a lot, and obviously it really helped me leapfrog a bunch of guys when everyone went and pit and stuff like that. And it was quite the crazy race, and I haven't gotten a chance to look at it yet, but with 2 to go before we got our caution, not entirely sure what happened there, but it was definitely hard racing, and man, I'm just kind of surprised. I didn't really expect that race to go that way at all, so but it feels good to get another one, so I will take it.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. I mean, you got to take them when they come to you, and I mean, yeah, it's definitely challenging to have those things be thrown at you and having to work through them, especially having solid drivers like Brett Hahn, Eric Papanow, David Payton as well, also kind of behind you, putting pressure on you as well in those final couple laps in that final 2-lap yellow flag restart. That was wild. In the booth here, I was definitely on my toes, watching you guys make your way through the field. And I gotta say, Andrew, yeah, having that happen to you literally in the last 3 laps of the race and still overcoming it and coming out first, absolutely impressive, Andrew. But I gotta ask you, this is the final short track race, we only have 2 races left here to go, and both of those are going to be kind of longer tracks, a little bit different from what we're used to seeing here. What are you kind of expecting here from those?
Kind of similar to how tonight went a little bit before we got that last caution. Kind of fuel mileage races, maybe depending on how the cautions are, laid out and thrown. If it's anything like Rockingham earlier this season, it could very well come down to a fuel mileage race again. I know some of the bigger tracks, if we don't get cautions, we'll kind of suck the fuel out of these cars. But I expect the racing to be very similar to how it has been. Maybe a little less aggressive moves thrown. I know I was making some aggressive moves tonight, and I do apologize to everyone who I made an aggressive move on. But it's kind of hard to pass here, especially. You kind of end up bogging out a little bit at the end of the straightaway. But I expect races the next 2 weeks to kind of be similar, where get really, really spread out, and it might end up coming down to a fuel mileage race again. I kind of hope it does. Those seem to work on my side a little bit, but yeah, it's. I think the racing is going to be really tight as well.
Yeah, this tonight was definitely very, very tight pack racing, I think. Definitely a nice change of pace from what we're used to seeing here. Now, Andrew, before I let you go here, is there anyone watching that you want to give a shout out to or thank you before you head out and celebrate?
First of all, I'd like to thank all of our league and title sponsors: Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, Tagaray, Lukoil, QuickTime. All of them help make this league possible, and allow us to be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Goon Squad, you guys, thank you guys for coming on board for this season. V&H Fresh, Hall Metal Fab, Citrus Heights Sawn Mower, RogersCars.com, QuickTime. Huge thanks to the other admins. And then just everyone in the league. It's nice to see everyone come out and support each and every week. And just thank you to you, Mason, for broadcasting tonight and every week that we have this. It's really appreciated. And can't forget my parents and grandparents as well. They're huge supporters of me, from real life racing to sim racing, and I wouldn't be here without them.
Awesome, Andrew. Thank you very much for coming out and talking with us tonight, and congratulations, Andrew. I've been rooting for you the whole season. I love seeing that number 93 out in the front of the field, and really great to see that 93 pull it out tonight and come out on top, and hopefully we'll get to see you do the same thing next week and have the same sort of luck. So with that, Andrew, thank you for coming again, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. That was Andrew Payne in the number 93, our first podium setter for tonight here at USA International Speedway. What a race that we had here today, everyone. Now, before I let everyone go and enjoy the rest of their night, I would like to thank everyone for watching and tuning in tonight. And if you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, feel free to hit that like button. And if you want to check out more of the content that we have here at Team Goon Squad, hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned. Stay tuned in on all the action that we have here at Team Goon Squad 6 days a week. My name is Mason Heimbaugh, bringing you tonight's action with Team Goon Squad. Thank you all for watching. Actually, before I do that, there's one more thing I have to mention. If you enjoyed tonight's action and you want to get in on some of it for the next season, and just want to get a little bit of information or what have you, head on down to the website at the bottom of your screen, AmericanSimRacingClub.com, and check out some of the series that they have to offer, and if it's something that you would be interested in, and see if it's something that you would like to give a try, and see if you yourself can be a first place winner here in the American Sim Racing Club for the Frito-Lay Super Late Model Touring Series. Again, thank you all for watching and tuning in, and I will see you all next week.
Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona, the big one is out.